Your person was once sneaky and deceptive in ways that left a lasting mark on your heart, and although you tried to hold on, their actions repeatedly pushed you away. They spoke to you with carelessness, sometimes even cruelty, not realizing the depth of the wounds they were causing. At the time, they were clouded by ego, pride, and a sense of superiority that made them blind to your emotional needs. You were giving, patient, and sincere, yet they dismissed your efforts and made you feel as though your feelings didn't matter. Those painful moments built up inside you, layer by layer, until your heart felt heavy and exhausted from carrying so much hurt. While they were caught up in their toxic patterns, you were left trying to make sense of emotions that felt overwhelming and unfair. Your devotion went unnoticed then, but now the reality of what they've done is finally beginning to surface in their mind. As they sit with their thoughts, something inside them has shifted. They're starting to truly understand the impact of their behavior, something they never allowed themselves to see before. They now recognize how deeply their words cut you, how their actions left you feeling abandoned, and how their inconsistency made you doubt your worth. The guilt is settling in, and it's far heavier than they ever expected. They keep revisiting old photos of you, trying to feel close to you in whatever way they still can. Every time they look at your smile, your eyes, or the moments you once shared, they're hit with the realization of the enormous mistake they made when they let you down. They're beginning to grasp just how much you were willing to give, and how little they offered in return. These memories haunt them, not out of anger, but out of regret so intense that it forces them to confront their own behavior. Despite their guilt, their attraction to you hasn't faded, in fact, it has grown stronger. They feel drawn to you in a way that is more emotional, more intimate, and more intense than before. They often find themselves fantasizing about being close to you, imagining moments of physical and emotional intimacy that they once took for granted. But this time, it isn't only desire that drives them, it's the longing to make things right. They want to repair the damage they caused, to compensate for every tear, every sleepless night, and every moment of confusion they put you through. They've been replaying situations in their mind, thinking about what they should have done differently and how they can show you that they've changed. In their heart, they hope they haven't lost you forever, even though they know they pushed you to your breaking point. What they don't fully understand yet is that you have undergone your own transformation, one they never expected. After days or even weeks of emotional turmoil, you finally reached a moment of surrender. You stopped clinging to the pain, stopped forcing answers, and stopped overthinking the connection. Instead, you handed everything over to the divine, trusting that whatever is meant for you will not pass you by. This surrender didn't come from hopelessness, it came from strength, acceptance, and a deep desire to heal. Slowly, you released the emotional weight they placed on your shoulders, and with that release came an inner power they never imagined you would find. You've become steadier, more self-aware, and far more emotionally grounded. This sudden shift has left your person stunned. They can't understand how the version of you who once cried, worried, or waited has now become someone so centered and unbothered. Your emotional independence has shocked them more than anything else. They're used to you caring, reaching out, or trying to fix things, but now they feel the absence of your energy. And that absence is loud. It's making them realize just how much they relied on your emotional presence and how deeply your strength affects them. Your transformation is forcing them to confront not only what they've lost but also what they still hope to regain. In their eyes, you've become someone they respect, admire, and desire even more, but now they face the fear that it might be too late. Without you, life feels strangely incomplete, as if an essential part of me has been misplaced and I'm left wandering with a quiet ache in my chest. From the very first moment I saw you, something inside me shifted, something deep, instinctive, and undeniable. I felt an instant connection, the kind that isn't forced, isn't planned, but simply happens, like two pieces of a puzzle recognizing where they belong. I fell in love with you so deeply and so suddenly that it almost frightened me. That depth of feeling has always been real, even when I didn't know how to express it in a healthy or gentle way. And now, as I sit with everything that has happened, I can feel how much it hurts to realize the ways I contributed to the distance between us. I am in a lot of pain right now, not because of blame or anger, but because I can finally see the truth of my own actions. I regret the moments when I tried to control situations or guide things in ways that were more about my fear than about love. I regret the times I manipulated conversations or behaved in ways that pushed you away instead of bringing you closer. My words, at times, were rude and careless. My reactions were harsh when they should have been patient, and I know that those actions broke your trust. Trust is fragile, and once broken, it doesn't simply return on command. I understand that now in a way I didn't before. Looking back, I can see clearly how everything I tried to force or control ended up backfiring. I thought I was protecting us, protecting the bond one cherished so deeply, but in reality, I was acting from insecurity and fear. I wanted a version of us that was strong, secure, and unshakable, but I didn't realize that trust and closeness can't be built on fear or impulsive reactions. They grow through patience, honesty, and vulnerability, things I struggled with and often avoided. I know I haven't been the best version of myself lately, and it pains me to admit how much that affected you. I didn't want you to see the darker parts of me, the parts shaped by fear, confusion, and past wounds. I was terrified that if you saw my flaws, my insecurities, and my emotional shadows, you would walk away from me. That fear became so overwhelming that I began to hide pieces of myself, pretending to be okay even when I wasn't. I lied about my feelings, not because I wanted to deceive you, but because I was trying to protect myself from the possibility of losing you. In doing that, I created the very distance I feared. Trying to escape my emotions, I distracted myself with things that pulled me off the path I should have been walking. I made choices that weren't aligned with my values or the person I want to become. I drifted, I stumbled, and I let myself fall into habits and behaviors that only made things worse. But now, with clarity, I am doing everything I can to get back on track. I am not looking for shortcuts or excuses. I am looking for growth, for healing, for accountability, and for genuine transformation. I want you to know that I am willing to put in the work, real, intentional work, to become someone better, not just for you, but for myself as well. I want to rebuild the foundation of who I am so that I can show up with honesty, kindness, and emotional maturity. I want to learn from my mistakes instead of repeating them. I want to communicate with openness instead of fear, listen with empathy instead of defensiveness, and love with patience instead of impulsiveness. If there is even the smallest chance for our connection to blossom again, I'm willing to nurture it with care and consistency. I understand now that love isn't about desperation or clinging, it's about understanding, support, respect, and growth. I can't erase the past, but I can take responsibility for it. I can show through my actions, not just my words, that I am committed to becoming the partner you deserve, someone who can love without fear, someone who can communicate without hiding, someone who can be trusted again. I miss the warmth we shared, the comfort of your presence, and the ease of our conversations. But more than missing what we had, I value the opportunity to grow from this, no matter how painful the process may be. I am choosing to face my mistakes, to confront the parts of myself I once tried to avoid, and to rise from them with more strength and clarity. My commitment is real. My intentions are genuine. And my hope, gently, patiently, is that someday, when the time is right, our connection will find its way towards something even more beautiful than before. Your partner deeply longs to reconnect with you, not in a fleeting or uncertain way, but with a heartfelt desire that has grown stronger over time. They feel a genuine pull toward your presence, one that they can no longer ignore or push aside. The absence of your energy in their life has made them realize just how significant you are to them. It isn't just about missing someone, it's about realizing that the comfort, harmony, and emotional clarity they experienced with you is irreplaceable. They now recognize, with a kind of inner certainty, that you are the person they have been searching for, perhaps even long before they fully understood what they truly needed in a partner. This awareness has been building within them, and with each passing day, their desire to reconnect becomes more undeniable. They have been thinking carefully and intentionally about approaching you again, imagining how it would feel to open the door to a new chapter with you. In fact, they have plans to ask you out, whether for a date, a meaningful conversation, or simply a shared moment that would allow the two of you to step back into each other's lives with openness and sincerity. This isn't something casual for them. They want the chance to get to know you more deeply, beyond the surface-level details or the everyday conversations that people often settle for. They want to understand the layers of who you are, your past experiences, the moments that shaped you, your present journey, and the dreams or intentions you hold for the future. They want to listen, to learn, and to genuinely connect with the whole of you. Your partner believes wholeheartedly that happiness is something they can experience with you in a way they haven't found anywhere else. You offered them a kind of acceptance that felt pure and grounding, something they didn't have to earn or perform for. With you, they felt understood in a way that reached beyond words, a sense of being seen and valued for who they truly are. That kind of emotional recognition is rare, and they carry it with them like a memory that continues to echo even in your absence. It's one of the reasons they cannot shake the feeling that you are the person their heart aligns with on the deepest level. They also sense that being with you opens pathways for growth, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and even mentally. Your presence inspires them, encourages them, and challenges them in all the right ways. You uplift them without even trying, and they have come to associate you with opportunity, self-improvement, and personal evolution. They feel that being connected with you brings out a version of themselves they genuinely like, more grounded, more hopeful, more in tune with who they want to become. It's as though your energy sparks something in them, a motivation to grow, heal, and embrace life with a more open heart. To them, you have become a kind of lucky charm, not in a superficial or materialistic sense, but in a deeply emotional and spiritual way. When they think of you, they feel aligned with good things, clarity, love, expansion, and the sense that life can be meaningful, even magical, when shared with the right person. They see you as someone who naturally brings blessings into their world simply by being yourself. This realization has grown stronger the more they reflect on what the two of you once shared and what you could still become together. Eventually, they reached a point where running from these feelings no longer made sense. For a while, they may have tried to dismiss or suppress what they felt, perhaps out of fear, uncertainty, or unresolved emotions from their own past. But the truth kept resurfacing, becoming clearer and harder to deny. The connection they share with you is not ordinary. It carries the weight and depth of something spiritual, something that feels divinely orchestrated. They now feel as if the universe has been nudging them toward acceptance, encouraging them to stop resisting, to stop overthinking, and to embrace the love that keeps pulling them back to you. This connection feels so deep to them, something that transcends logic or circumstance. It's a bond they don't want to lose again. Even if they once tried to escape the intensity of it, they now understand that this love isn't something meant to be avoided, it's something meant to be experienced, honored, and nurtured. They believe that the two of you share a rare kind of emotional and spiritual resonance, a connection that feels guided, protected, and meaningful on all levels. As they prepare themselves to reach out, what they hope for most is the chance to rebuild something beautiful with you, something grounded in honesty, mutual understanding, and genuine affection. They know they can be happy with you, and more importantly, they feel that happiness would be rooted in authenticity and deep emotional alignment. Their heart is ready to take that step toward you, ready to reconnect, ready to grow, and ready to embrace the love that has always felt meant for the two of you.